ancient times, however, the moon was most often thought of as a god or a goddess. Our ancestors considered the sun and the moon to be divine beings, one masculine, one feminine, one ruling the day, the other the night. 10 surprising and strange facts about the moon that may surprise you. Moon Fact 1. The moon was probably created by a collision between the forming Earth and a piece of astral debris. This also accounts for its mixed composition of Earth-like rocks and alien rocks. Moon Fact 2. Because of the way the moon turns on its axis and orbits the Earth, we can only ever see one side of it. That is the side illuminated by the sun. We do know what the dark side of the moon looks like, however, as it has been photographed from space. In Native American myths and stories, the sun and the moon are husband and wife. But the sun is hungry and cruel and wants to eat the children, the stars. So, when he wakes in the morning, all the star children run away. It is only at night, while he is sleeping, that the moon can come out and play with her children. But the moon has not only inspired Native American stories. Here is a beautiful piece of Native American music played on the traditional wooden flute. Moon Fact 3. The Romans called the moon goddess, Luna, and we still use this term when we refer to things to do with the moon. Think of the lunar landings, or the lunar orbit, or the lunar calendar. Quote, because of the moon's association with magic and madness, we still sometimes talk of lunatics to describe people whose behavior is irrational, although it is no longer a term acceptable to describe someone with a genuine psychiatric illness. Moon Fact 4. Earth has another moon. It's true, but the other one is just 3 miles across. Astronomers discovered it in 1999. Few people know about it. It's called Krutna. Look it up. The science of the moon. Now we've looked at the myths and legends that our ancestors created about the moon and arrived at Galileo, the first lunar scientist. Let's take a look at what we know about the moon today. Thanks to mathematicians, astronomers, chemists, geologists, cosmologists, astrophysicists, and, of course, astronauts, science has discovered a great deal about the moon. Moon Fact 5. Because the moon's atmosphere is so thin, there's no wind or rain. That's why the flag that we put on the moon when we landed there for the first time in 1969 had to have a horizontal pole inserted in the top, or it would just have hung down. Well, the moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. A satellite is any physical body that travels around another one. Which is why we also call our space stations and transmitters satellites. That's what they do. Moon Fact 6. The gravitational pull of the moon on the Earth's surface causes the ocean's tides. Not much else can move, but the seas are fluid. They stay on Earth, however, because the Earth's own gravitational pull is stronger. 4.3 billion years ago, while the Earth was still forming from the swirling particles left over by an exploding star, it collided with another, heavenly body, about the size of the planet Mars. This collision caused a scattering of looser Earth material to spin off into space. Caught in the Earth's gravitational field and swirled into terrestrial orbit, it condensed by its own gravity to become the moon. So now you know. Or maybe not. Science is a work in progress. The fact is that scientists have a lot of evidence for this, but not enough to be certain. Although, some problems with understanding just how it all happened are getting clearer, as the following video explains. Moon Fact 7. It takes the moon 27 days, 7 hours, 43 minutes, 11.6 seconds to orbit the Earth once. Little by little during the month, more shadow is cast over the moon until, when the sun, Earth and moon line up, with the moon between the sun and the Earth, it blocks the sunlight altogether and the moon seems to disappear. Then, as we pass over the other side, the lit up side gets bigger and bigger until we line up again, but this time with the Earth in between the sun and the moon. Then we have the full moon. Still not sure how this works? Or do you prefer to see a picture? Watch this video animation which explains all the phases of the moon. Moon Fact 8. The moon is approximately 250,000 miles away from the Earth. Average walking speed is 3 miles per hour. How long would it take you to walk to the moon? Moon Fact 9. Craters pit the surface of the moon. Collisions with space rocks and asteroids formed them over 4 billion years ago. They stay unchanged because the moon has almost no geological activity and no weather either. The moon also spins on its own axis, just as the Earth does. The time needed to make one full turn on its axis is the same as it takes to orbit the Earth once. What that means is that from Earth we can only ever see one side of the moon. The other side, which we cannot see from our home planet, we know as the dark side of the moon. Moon Fact 10. In 2009, scientists discovered that there is frozen water on the moon. However, there are no signs of life there. But how does the moon exert its influence on the movement of water? How does the moon affect the tides? Well, I'm going to let the guys from Test Tube, which is a handy little channel for bite-size explanations of complicated science, if you're interested, give you the...
It's caught in the crossfire.